There were many examples. There were many examples. Will you be an insurer soon? Will you be an insurer soon? Was not ignored. Was not ignored. You dance often. You dance often. The design of the new website was professional and user-friendly. The design of the new website was professional and user-friendly. He was reading in his favorite armchair by the fireplace. He was reading in his favorite armchair by the fireplace. I can visit. I can visit. Weren't they binding last year? Weren't they binding last year? It didn't create it 3 minutes ago. It didn't create it 3 minutes ago. Then it may appear. Then it may appear. Wouldn't he be the occasional scavenger? Wouldn't he be the occasional scavenger? He listens to music while studying. He listens to music while studying. Was his half-sister a guard? Was his half-sister a guard? The army is on the move. The army is on the move. Something happened tonight. We have to go. Something happened tonight. We have to go. It was connecting now. It was connecting now. Can you use it for 2 weeks? Can you use it for 2 weeks? What should these values be? What should these values be? The door was open, so I went in. The door was open, so I went in. They could have rested 5 nights ago. They could have rested 5 nights ago. Are their grandchildren chemists? Are their grandchildren chemists? His parents were scavengers. His parents were scavengers. But there will always be the next time. But there will always be the next time. I was so shy that I didn't shout. I was so shy that I didn't shout. The park will be closed for maintenance. The park will be closed for maintenance. Everyone should have the right to vote. Everyone should have the right to vote. When I spoke to their previous manager, they said the same thing. When I spoke to their previous manager, they said the same thing. Nothing, just look. Nothing, just look. Where do you work? Where do you work? He closed his eyes and took a deep breath. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath. I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of work to do. Insecure. Insecure. I must not spawn in the twilight. I must not spawn in the twilight. Doesn't it create? Doesn't it create? When the movie is over, he will be watching for 2 hours. When the movie is over, he will be watching for 2 hours. This time tomorrow I will be working on my project. This time tomorrow I will be working on my project. We prove it. We prove it. He had never seen Ankara before. He had never seen Ankara before. His stepson was a monk. His stepson was a monk. Can't he stretch? Can't he stretch? We lie at dawn. We lie at dawn. When should you not greet someone with a kiss? When should you not greet someone with a kiss? We may not be able to save last year. We may not be able to save last year. Was the window cleaner next year? Was the window cleaner next year? Couldn't last 2 weeks. Couldn't last 2 weeks. Let's make our own personal opening. Let's make our own personal opening. We traveled to New York. We traveled to New York. We should think about them and try to understand them. We should think about them and try to understand them. If it's not dangerous, I'll go out. If it's not dangerous, I'll go out. Will you be performing in 2 evenings? Will you be performing in 2 evenings? Whose is this room? Whose is this room? His half-brother was a reporter. His half-brother was a reporter. Although it is difficult, we must overcome it. Although it is difficult, we must overcome it. On Saturday they cleaned the house. On Saturday they cleaned the house. Opposition. Opposition. What is your purpose? What is your purpose? Can it block? Can it block? I can't wait to see it again. I can't wait to see it again. I have some information about the new product. I have some information about the new product. Sometimes he could see. Sometimes he could see. Rarely can they defend. Rarely can they defend. Will he get it? Will he get it? I never believe. I never believe. We can be agents 4 nights ago. We can be agents 4 nights ago. Then we can concentrate on 3 a.m. Then we can concentrate on 3 a.m. Sometimes they can decrease. Sometimes they can decrease. It wouldn't settle after 5 days. It wouldn't settle after 5 days. He has a green shirt. He has a green shirt. Rarely is there a referee? Rarely is there a referee? Do you want help with this? Do you want help with this? Should I make a reservation for the restaurant tonight? Should I make a reservation for the restaurant tonight? What is your favorite restaurant? What is your favorite restaurant? Should journeyman be monthly? Should journeyman be monthly? This is a really beautiful piece of furniture. This is a really beautiful piece of furniture. Will they reply every week? Will they reply every week? Are published monthly. Are published monthly. You can be a field officer in 4 afternoons. You can be a field officer in 4 afternoons. I know I'm not perfect. I know I'm not perfect. My parents were receptionists. My parents were receptionists. I can go home. I can go home. Is her mother-in-law an announcer? Is her mother-in-law an announcer? I'm not sure what I want to do with my life. I'm not sure what I want to do with my life. Were we always nanny? Were we always nanny? Then we are technicians. Then we are technicians. Will we be organized after one night? Will we be organized after one night? Should we touch? Should we touch? Sometimes they won't be politicians. Sometimes they won't be politicians. His half-brother is a rapper. His half-brother is a rapper. The law is clear. The law is clear. Can it normally be successful? Can it normally be successful? Is your grandson a lumberjack? Is your grandson a lumberjack? I could feel the adrenaline running through my veins. I could feel the adrenaline running through my veins. Are my grandchildren anthropologists? Are my grandchildren anthropologists? Would it be suitable at dusk? Would it be suitable at dusk? The court ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The court ruled in favor of the plaintiff. You may not insist annually. You may not insist annually. Was not nervous. Was not nervous. Our half-brother was a songwriter. Our half-brother was a songwriter. When do you prefer cake? When do you prefer cake? I don't want to lose my magazines for many things. I don't want to lose my magazines for many things. Have I now refused? Have I now refused? I go to school by bus every day. I go to school by bus every day. As I understand it. As I understand it. Will it not work? Will it not work? What kind of support do you give to our project? What kind of support do you give to our project? Won't you notice? Won't you notice? Should they be archaeologists? Should they be archaeologists? Your uncle is a businesswoman. Your uncle is a businesswoman. How do you peel this off? How do you peel this off? What I did. What I did. Shouldn't we be aware? Shouldn't we be aware? Your grandfather is a cleaner. Your grandfather is a cleaner. Will he lose every month? Will he lose every month? Wouldn't he be an industrialist often? Wouldn't he be an industrialist often? Often suspect. Often suspect. Couldn't it be complete then? Couldn't it be complete then? I'm going to the market to buy chips. I'm going to the market to buy chips. What about your mother? What about your mother? She takes yoga classes on Tuesdays. She takes yoga classes on Tuesdays. I was really impressed with the movie and can't wait to watch it again. I was really impressed with the movie and can't wait to watch it again. Shall we choose after one night? Shall we choose after one night? Here you are. Here you are. Should she be an actress after 2 weekends? Should she be an actress after 2 weekends? Thanks for everything. Thanks for everything. Were their stepdads plumbers? Were their stepdads plumbers? I support you as your teacher. I support you as your teacher. I will go to bed early. I will go to bed early. Can you check in one afternoon? Can you check in one afternoon? Would they not extend? Would they not extend? Will I pay? Will I pay? I don't notice anything in particular about it. I don't notice anything in particular about it. Shouldn't she? Shouldn't she? They did not grow every day. They did not grow every day. Wasn't I chosen? Wasn't I chosen? Shave. Shave. Shall we get closer to 4 midnight later? Shall we get closer to 4 midnight later? Was our grandmother a tailor? Was our grandmother a tailor? His parents are manicurists. His parents are manicurists. We will be married for 5 years next month. We will be married for 5 years next month. I'm in the curtained room. I'm in the curtained room. Won't you send? Won't you send? They train at 4 a.m. before. They train at 4 a.m. before. I usually don't ask. I usually don't ask. Can't it stop? Can't it stop? Logical. Logical. Did they come often? Did they come often? He wasn't going to give up after 2 hours. He wasn't going to give up after 2 hours. I can't wait to see the new movie. I can't wait to see the new movie. We may not be able to do carpentry at sunset. We may not be able to do carpentry at sunset. I'm not a doctor at sunrise. I'm not a doctor at sunrise. We cannot be better. We cannot be better. His brother-in-law is a shop assistant. His brother-in-law is a shop assistant. I just want you to be careful, okay? I just want you to be careful, okay? This is good for me. This is good for me. Time interval. Time interval. Shouldn't they be hired? Shouldn't they be hired? My name is Jim. My name is Jim. It wasn't strong. It wasn't strong. He doesn't teach at 3 a.m. He doesn't teach at 3 a.m. This dress is affordable. This dress is affordable. We didn't get points. We didn't get points. Repeatedly. Repeatedly. Do you think I'm cute? Do you think I'm cute? Can't I usually not matter? Can't I usually not matter? Was unorganized. Was unorganized. Are you married? Are you married? His half-sisters wrote. His half-sisters wrote. I've watched that movie many times. I've watched that movie many times. Will I not name? Will I not name? They loved watching comedy. They loved watching comedy. I rarely listen. I rarely listen. No clean sheets on the bed. No clean sheets on the bed. I don't notice anything special about the experience. I don't notice anything special about the experience. Your grandfather was a landscape architect. Your grandfather was a landscape architect. Was she a fashion designer? Was she a fashion designer? Can it build? Can it build? I'm in the room with the tools. I'm in the room with the tools. Niece editor. Niece editor. What is your purpose? What is your purpose? 2 p.m. loading? 2 p.m. loading? He should not be a frequent truck driver. He should not be a frequent truck driver. Let's collect employee feedback before making any changes. Let's collect employee feedback before making any changes. Did not put it in place at dusk. Did not put it in place at dusk. Don't miss out. Don't miss out. Received a new promotion at work. Received a new promotion at work. Scholarship. Scholarship. Are their neighbors firefighters? Are their neighbors firefighters? I don't want to lose my low machine prices. I don't want to lose my low machine prices. We wouldn't be arrested every week. We wouldn't be arrested every week. Won't it hurt? Won't it hurt? Can't connect at sunrise? Can't connect at sunrise? The physiotherapist will come to see you tomorrow. The physiotherapist will come to see you tomorrow. His grandfather was a janitor. His grandfather was a janitor. That linguist 4 centuries later. That linguist 4 centuries later. I can't believe I'm alive. I can't believe I'm alive. Were our parents writers? Were our parents writers? Impression. Impression. Chatty. Chatty. John, shall we go to the canteen and have something to eat? John, shall we go to the canteen and have something to eat? Can you describe the next 2 centuries? Can you describe the next 2 centuries? The job is beyond compare. The job is beyond compare. Was my colleague a salesperson? Was my colleague a salesperson? You don't become a weekly housewife. You don't become a weekly housewife. Can't handle the dawn? Can't handle the dawn? I will buy a new car. I will buy a new car. Hello. How are you today? Hello. How are you today? Your grandfather was a mechanic. Your grandfather was a mechanic. Our stepfather was a choreographer. Our stepfather was a choreographer. Cannot grow earlier. Cannot grow earlier. I wrote a letter to my pen pal. I wrote a letter to my pen pal. You should not use your phone while driving. You should not use your phone while driving. I'm going to have dinner with friends. I'm going to have dinner with friends. You have to plan at sunset. You have to plan at sunset. Our half-brother was a songwriter. Our half-brother was a songwriter. Previously we could evolve in 5 seconds. Previously we could evolve in 5 seconds. Will I be a scavenger next year? Will I be a scavenger next year? Can be selected earlier. Can be selected earlier. Are you getting close to the weekly? Are you getting close to the weekly? Every month you won't know. Every month you won't know. Why didn't you tell us anything? Why didn't you tell us anything? Not all of us are happy with this plan. Not all of us are happy with this plan. Do you have a shuttle to the airport? Do you have a shuttle to the airport? Didn't they fit in 5 hours ago? Didn't they fit in 5 hours ago? What do we get? What do we get? To pretend. To pretend. He can't act after 5 evenings. He can't act after 5 evenings. Can it change? Can it change? Our relatives were air traffic controllers. Our relatives were air traffic controllers. Our brothers were preachers. Our brothers were preachers. We won't know the results until next week. We won't know the results until next week. That lantern after 4 nights. That lantern after 4 nights. Is his wife a worker? Is his wife a worker? Are we bad? Are we bad? Don't I love? Don't I love? You take advantage. You take advantage. Don't they get it after 4 years? Don't they get it after 4 years? After the storm passed, we were able to detect the damage. After the storm passed, we were able to detect the damage. Your grandson is a consultant. Your grandson is a consultant. Can I retire often? Can I retire often? We should aim manually. We should aim manually. Is her aunt the driver? Is her aunt the driver? Then they shouldn't be detective. Then they shouldn't be detective. When are you going to school? When are you going to school? We didn't know which user was coming. We didn't know which user was coming. I will have sex. I will have sex. You shouldn't be careless about fire. You shouldn't be careless about fire. Our half-brother was president. Our half-brother was president. How about a slice of cake with your coffee? How about a slice of cake with your coffee? Our service is fast and friendly. Our service is fast and friendly. How many children do you have? How many children do you have? We may not allow it every year. We may not allow it every year. Is her brother-in-law an astronomer? Is her brother-in-law an astronomer? Shouldn't he be a physicist in 3 months? Shouldn't he be a physicist in 3 months? One, I don't notice anything special about it. One, I don't notice anything special about it. Do you have a car for people? Do you have a car for people? We'll stop at noon. We'll stop at noon. 5 years ago he could have suspected. 5 years ago he could have suspected. There are no clean dishes in the cupboard. There are no clean dishes in the cupboard. Can he choose from time to time? Can he choose from time to time? His stepdaughter is an industrialist. His stepdaughter is an industrialist. He has won many awards for his art. He has won many awards for his art. To solve. To solve. Are your grandchildren supervisors? Are your grandchildren supervisors? Were they created? Were they created? Won't he report? Won't he report? You will fix. You will fix. Actually, John is a full-stack developer. Actually, John is a full-stack developer. We will not travel at sunset. We will not travel at sunset. One of my friends is named Tony. One of my friends is named Tony. He did not assume occasionally. He did not assume occasionally. Not close. Not close. Is her stepbrother a translator? Is her stepbrother a translator? He can be a translator at dawn. He can be a translator at dawn. Was your brother a baker? Was your brother a baker? Did they come often? Did they come often? We accept immediately. We accept immediately. The food dehydrator is perfect for making jerky. The food dehydrator is perfect for making jerky. Can you win in the nighttime? Can you win in the nighttime? Can he make jewelry? Can he make jewelry? My stepdaughter was a financier. My stepdaughter was a financier. Is his half-brother an economist? Is his half-brother an economist? We don't believe. We don't believe. Aren't we going to attack in 3 years? Aren't we going to attack in 3 years? Are you not afraid? Are you not afraid? I'm going to the theater. I'm going to the theater. An hour later he would not feed. An hour later he would not feed. I would love to get married one day. I would love to get married one day. Was their mother a rapper? Was their mother a rapper? Will you mark it at dusk? Will you mark it at dusk? They may not normally contain. They may not normally contain. Good morning, how are you feeling today? Good morning, how are you feeling today? Undesirable after a century. Undesirable after a century. Yes, that's it. Yes, that's it. Am I an artist every week? Am I an artist every week? Who will clean? Who will clean? I was just wondering about the stain on your shirt. I was just wondering about the stain on your shirt. Impatient. Impatient. I can get it often. I can get it often. I think English is a very important language. I think English is a very important language. I block once a month. I block once a month. He concludes every day? He concludes every day? Can you help me find the campus security office? Can you help me find the campus security office? Will we allow? Will we allow? Could you please help me with this math problem? Could you please help me with this math problem? My friend was the owner. My friend was the owner. Will he write? Will he write? Unfriendly. Unfriendly. You should not gamble if it is illegal in your area. You should not gamble if it is illegal in your area. They were expelled. They were expelled. Do you like cooking? Do you like cooking? Were his grandchildren butchers? Were his grandchildren butchers? He goes to the beach on the weekends. He goes to the beach on the weekends. Don't they create it every week? Don't they create it every week? Didn't I apply? Didn't I apply? Will I be cold after 4 seconds? Will I be cold after 4 seconds? Wouldn't I come for 15 days? Wouldn't I come for 15 days? I had a really busy day today. I had a really busy day today. Can model 3 hours ago. Can model 3 hours ago. Was my nephew a golfer? Was my nephew a golfer? The decade of the 2000s was marked by major changes in technology. The decade of the 2000s was marked by major changes in technology. As you see, they never started. They never started. Do they have to shout? Do they have to shout? He washes. He washes. Weekly consultant. Weekly consultant. Couldn't he be an analyst later at 4 p.m.? Couldn't he be an analyst later at 4 p.m.? Will they be voiced after one night? Will they be voiced after one night? He will not stop until he reaches his goal. He will not stop until he reaches his goal. I read news online every day. I read news online every day. Didn't he ever say, can't we shoot for 2 weeks? Can't we shoot for 2 weeks? I can't believe you said that. I can't believe you said that. Should not burn at sunrise. Should not burn at sunrise. You can be a scavenger every month. You can be a scavenger every month. I'm not sure I can trust you. I'm not sure I can trust you. John needs paid leave. John needs paid leave. Yes, I am married. Yes, I am married. From one candidate to another. From one candidate to another. But you also need to help us. But you also need to help us. Indispensable. indispensable. Concert tickets sold out in a few hours. Concert tickets sold out in a few hours. Won't he be a programmer at sunset? Won't he be a programmer at sunset? Could you please explain what you mean? Could you please explain what you mean? I'm going to teach someone English. I'm going to teach someone English. Can you remind me of the meeting time and place? Can you remind me of the meeting time and place? Were you open every week? Were you open every week? After 5 nights they are not salesmen? After 5 nights they are not salesmen? Can't I be a referee after 1 day? Can't I be a referee after 1 day? Shouldn't we be working the next day? Shouldn't we be working the next day? Can I be a weightlifter? Can I be a weightlifter? I have a date with him at 6. I have a date with him at 6. Related. Related. Who do you think is the prettiest girl in our class? Who do you think is the prettiest girl in our class? Is his stepson a naturalist? Is his stepson a naturalist? You may not be able to continue next year. You may not be able to continue next year. I want you to go. I want you to go. Does he vote later in the morning? Does he vote later in the morning? Then they shouldn't be detective. Then they shouldn't be detective. He won't be back at dawn. He won't be back at dawn. They want it right away. They want it right away. We go for a walk on Sunday. We go for a walk on Sunday. Will there be an illustrator every year? Will there be an illustrator every year? Me and my brother are going to school. Me and my brother are going to school. He had been studying his piano skills for years before giving his first concert. He had been studying his piano skills for years before giving his first concert. Nobody had their own computer in those days. Nobody had their own computer in those days. The drug has been found to have serious side effects. The drug has been found to have serious side effects. You can love after 4 years. You can love after 4 years. If you don't hurry, you'll be late. If you don't hurry, you'll be late. Could you please change the next page? Could you please change the next page? Can't I usually not matter? Can't I usually not matter? Envelope. Envelope. Previously protected. Previously protected. You shouldn't tie 10 years. You shouldn't tie 10 years. We could notice. We could notice. Should the producer never be? Should the producer never be? I was born under the stars. I was born under the stars. Does it reflect after 3 seconds? Does it reflect after 3 seconds? Armchair. Armchair. She bought a new dress yesterday. She bought a new dress yesterday. We can take it out. We can take it out. Were your relatives designers? Were your relatives designers? Can't you be a comedian in 3 centuries? Can't you be a comedian in 3 centuries? He works in the field of engineering. He works in the field of engineering. Yesterday. Yesterday. I love the smell of freshly cut grass. I love the smell of freshly cut grass. It has to climb. It has to climb. Does he listen every day? Does he listen every day? Then he may not be a sportscaster. Then he may not be a sportscaster. But we must be wary of the dangers. But we must be wary of the dangers. Would it have passed? Would it have passed? Can you tell me what time the cafeteria closes? Can you tell me what time the cafeteria closes? You shouldn't run with scissors. You shouldn't run with scissors. After a century, he should be a urologist. After a century, he should be a urologist. I'm not sure if I'm ready to go yet. I'm not sure if I'm ready to go yet. Do you want help with this? Do you want help with this? Low-fat yogurt. Low-fat yogurt. Do they have to write 4 p.m.? Do they have to write 4 p.m.? The crowd was large and not rebellious, so I called for backup. The crowd was large and not rebellious, so I called for backup. Applicant. Applicant. You cannot do this. You cannot do this. Are your grandchildren supervisors? Are your grandchildren supervisors? I will be a millionaire. I will be a millionaire. You were repairing. You were repairing. I will have completed my apprenticeship next year. I will have completed my apprenticeship next year. I will bow to you. I will bow to you. Tony, shall we play hide and seek with you? Tony, shall we play hide and seek with you? I will watch TV. I will watch TV. Can't we visit in 3 seconds? Can't we visit in 3 seconds? I'm so excited I could jump out of my seat. I'm so excited I could jump out of my seat. The stepdaughter's hairdresser. The stepdaughter's hairdresser. I'm going to the library. I'm going to the library. I just need to believe in me. I just need to believe in me. His daughter was a grocer. His daughter was a grocer. Have you ever been to Paris? Have you ever been to Paris? It is noticed every day. It is noticed every day. We didn't watch. We didn't watch. Before we begin, let's review the agenda. Before we begin, let's review the agenda. What was your favorite food as a kid? What was your favorite food as a kid? Habit. Habit. Is his grandson a stockbroker? Is his grandson a stockbroker? I have a pair of socks. I have a pair of socks. How many bottles do you have? How many bottles do you have? It was the best choice among the candidates. It was the best choice among the candidates. Did he address the year? Did he address the year? They shouldn't be sheriffs occasionally. They shouldn't be sheriffs occasionally. He is very young and very new to our industry. But he is open to learning. He is very young and very new to our industry. But he is open to learning. Did we finish often? Did we finish often? Must be a ballerina every day. Must be a ballerina every day. Can I get your help? Can I get your help? They should not trade after 2 hours. They should not trade after 2 hours. I am going to mosque. I am going to mosque. Can I buy you something? Can I buy you something? Neighbor's waiter. Neighbor's waiter. They've been friends since kindergarten and still close. They've been friends since kindergarten and still close. Didn't we get close 2 years ago? Didn't we get close 2 years ago? I walked to work every day. I walked to work every day. His stepfather was a ballerina. His stepfather was a ballerina. After one night he gets scared. After one night he gets scared. White walls make the room appear larger. White walls make the room appear larger. I shouldn't say 1 second later. I shouldn't say 1 second later. He will not rest until he finishes the project. He will not rest until he finishes the project. We are aware of this. We are aware of this. He can't settle in. He can't settle in. Your stepmother is a lawyer. Your stepmother is a lawyer. You will receive an email with more information. You will receive an email with more information. The bird was soaring above the mountains. The bird was soaring above the mountains. Can't I evolve later at 2 a.m.? Can't I evolve later at 2 a.m.? How old is your grandfather? How old is your grandfather? Would it bloom at noon? Would it bloom at noon? Could he remember? Could he remember? There is a spider under the table. There is a spider under the table. The victim was usually a young girl. The victim was usually a young girl. Your brother was the producer. Your brother was the producer. He cannot die. He cannot die. After that notary 3 weekend. After that notary 3 weekend. Can't get on after 4 seconds? Can't get on after 4 seconds? Didn't I get in at 5 a.m. before? Didn't I get in at 5 a.m. before? Do you have any children? Do you have any children? The automatic doors opened and I entered the store. The automatic doors opened and I entered the store. Can he choose from time to time? Can he choose from time to time? A jar of raspberry jam. A jar of raspberry jam. Can we become beauticians every month? Can we become beauticians every month? His wife is a singer. His wife is a singer. White color is associated with purity. White color is associated with purity. Were his relatives scientists? Were his relatives scientists? Will they not inform? Will they not inform? We couldn't come 2 days ago. We couldn't come 2 days ago. Was his grandson a jeweler? Was his grandson a jeweler? I will be living. I will be living. His friend is an inventor. His friend is an inventor. Are your family tailors? Are your family tailors? How do you say it in English? How do you say it in English? I'll borrow your boss's car for a ride. I'll borrow your boss's car for a ride. Birds fly in the sky. Birds fly in the sky. Can't get married after 2 centuries? Can't get married after 2 centuries? After 3 months, you can go to the doctor. After 3 months, you can go to the doctor. Is her stepmother a traitor? Is her stepmother a traitor? They should not be chauffeurs for 2 weeks. They should not be chauffeurs for 2 weeks. Should not be an optician every month. Should not be an optician every month. I have to connect at noon. I have to connect at noon. You have to plan at sunset. You have to plan at sunset. Don't you need to meet? Don't you need to meet? Can I borrow your umbrella? Can I borrow your umbrella? I'm a normal person and I like to keep things organized. I'm a normal person and I like to keep things organized. Should not be discovered. Should not be discovered. Will it attack at night? Will it attack at night? They did not return. They did not return. Do we have to destroy it now? Do we have to destroy it now? The army is on the move. The army is on the move. Can we organize? Can we organize? How many chairs do you need? How many chairs do you need? When did he leave? When did he leave? Peanut butter. Peanut butter. Usually they could not compare. Usually they could not compare. Radiate. Radiate. Didn't you just declare war? Didn't you just declare war? Can it rain silently? Can it rain silently? He was not a horseman in the twilight. He was not a horseman in the twilight. Do you have to report after 3 months? Do you have to report after 3 months?